Okay. Reverend, we want to ask Practitioner Party.
Father God, we thank you for today. Father God, we thank you for today, Lord, for your grace and mercy. We ask that you forgive us of our sins, even if we have done not know, Father God, in the name of Jesus. Lord, we thank you for the coming together of this family on the teaching. Lord, we ask that you bless these partitions that are dropping on duty. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. This time, we remain standing. Nobody else wants to the time is flag. My count. Two.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Following protocol, you go around, you introduce yourself, how long you've been with the organization, speak loudly. We'll give you one.
Candidate Washington. I've been with the organization for a minute. I've been part of that. Excuse me. I've been with the organization for a minute. When I went out of the company, organization, for training, learning, and just move forward to something better after this.
Thank you.
Licensed practitioner, better organization affiliation, off and on close to 7 years. When I went out of this is just wanted to be part of the family, so a strong family.
Practitioner McCarty. I've been with the organization for about 5 years, on and off training. I'm here for personal development and ongoing training that actually was referred by licensed practitioner business.
Thank you.
Licensed practitioner McCarty. I've been with the organization for 4 years, and I would like more training. Thank you.
Practitioner Jackson, I've been with the organization 2.5 years. It's been an ongoing training for growth and development as far as training, developing skills to better enhance situations and just my personal life. And also report being a part of SPOA vision, growing and being a blessing to our community too as well. I was talking
What's your name? Thank you. Licensed practitioner Jones, been training with SPOA going on 6 years now, training in administration. But I want out of this organization, I want to see it move forward for another 42 years. Thank you.
I'm licensed practitioner Livingston. I've been training with SPOA going on 8 years. What I'm here for, the reason I'm still here after 8 years is I believe in this organization what it can do to people.
At this time, I'm licensed practitioner Jones again. Since we're at one of the practitioners in Livingston's buildings, I'll let them go from here. Thank you.
Today I wanted to talk about the first thing I want to talk about is some of the changes that we
Thank the practitioner and the building for allowing us.
We need to go by the agenda. We cannot.
First we need to.
Yeah, that's why I did that. First of all, we would like to thank Practitioner West for being gracious enough to allow us to use the board room to hold a meeting. And he said that he'd be willing to do it more time if we need to stay. So thank you, Practitioner West.
Licensed practitioner Jones, at this time, I'm going by the agenda, uniform, dress. At this time, I'd like to present the other, can we all stand, please? Attention. I'd like to introduce to some, present to others. Chief Bridget. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, this is a trial streaming process. We are hoping to start streaming meetings so this so happens that we just call to send a practitioner to, what's that, Iran? San Jose. So we never know when in security what we're going to call to cover a site. And we call it our training sites. We want people who have questions about the organization to be able to see what we do in our training session. For you who just came for the first time, we don't have any jobs. Everything for training with us, but basically it's so that as a membership, we can grow. And everything we do, this is a training meeting, also as a business meeting, because we have a lot of different types of business. And because we're only going to be streaming for 30 minutes, what I like to do is okay with Deputy Chief, is to, the reason I keep saluting is that we have an agenda here. And this is our way of finding out who's actually reading the agenda. It says once you've read the agenda, you should stand and salute. Okay, now that we've said that, that's no longer in effect. Okay, so we'll kind of go from there. Everything we do is training 24/7 to develop our skills. If we develop our skills, we should never be without work. And that's the reason we do it this way. What I want to do before our 30 minutes is up is ask Deputy Chief to kind of go over some of her training.
Weekly concerns.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to do that on
Yes.
screen?
Okay, the weekly concerns, no show after payday. Practitioner Jones, can you address that for me, please?
Yes, I'm licensed practitioner Jones again. What we have in is after payday, we have practitioners calling off after payday. After you accept the site, they know I'm in the meeting. I don't know why they called me at this time after 6. You know, but anyway, after if you accept the site, and we put you on the roster, and you say yes, you want to do this tour duty, calling off now. You go to the bottom of the list. You will not be put back on the assignment until you come to a meeting and discuss it with Deputy Chief, myself, and Livingston, and wherever else will be standing on that board at that time. We have a lot of that, and what it does is throws everything off, because we have practitioners already just did the shift, and it's just wearing out the practitioners who really is trying to train. So from now on, if you accept it to a duty, it don't even have to be payday now. But we have a lot of that during about payday time. But if you accept this shift, and then at the last minute you call off, don't worry about doing the rest of the days. You lose all of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, while you're there, can you do suspicion of drugs?
Okay, right now we got a lot of suspicion of drug use. And from now on, if you test positive, when we do a random test, if you test positive, you will not go back on that schedule unless you come up with a plan and discuss that plan with us. We don't want no outpatient, we want inpatient. And that's going to take at least 90 to 6 months. Straight up and down. If you decline to take the test, we automatically assume that you're dirty. Okay? If you're on prescription drugs, because we know some people it's not very well, and we're getting old up in age and stuff like that, we need to see the prescription and let us know how many times you're supposed to take it and stuff like that. Okay? But we will not send anyone that we suspect under the influence on any more sites. Any more sites. We just got our butt just ripped off. I don't care how close of a friend you are to me, we're not going to do it. I mean, I just got ripped for that because something happened, you know. And at a later time, we'll discuss that, what happened on that schedule and stuff like that. Okay. You got to remember too, fella,
This is a hands-off site. So if somebody just, unless you just getting attacked or something like that, if a person is already gone, let him go on and walk out. I don't care what he call you. He don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Let him go on out. You know what I'm saying? And then when you on that altar thing, I don't care if it's like you've been up drinking all night. If you got a tour of duty, don't be up drinking all night because you ain't thinking clearly. You're not thinking clearly. Just call this stuff. I'd rather for you just tell me, Jones, check this out. Man, I partied last night, man. I can't hang. You know what I'm saying? But call me at a decent time. Don't call me 2 hours.
Okay.
Training.
Hey, Frank? Yes, sir.
Licensed practitioner.
Stand, please.
Licensed practitioner, I'm sorry, sir. You said testing. You know, a lot of people smoke marijuana. Well, what is the policy on marijuana?
Okay, the testing thing that we do, I have one here. I called the guy off because we was all kind of busy. He was on his way. We was gonna have a random test today. I called him off because he was doing some other things too, and he really wanted to come anyway. He still told me if I need to, we can call him right now. He'll still show up. But I called him off. I got the testers here. These testers does not lie. Okay, so if you're on weed, it's gonna say it. Okay, and then
What's the tolerance of weed?
I'm gonna say it right now. On the weed thing, we will discuss it with you at that time, the weed thing, because I'm not really clear about what you call. But if you know that you get ready to go on tour, don't go smoke a blunt. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious.
Yeah.
Don't go smoke a blunt.
Let the practitioner, Livingston.
Yes, and you must have a car. Once again, I'm practitioner Livingston, and the policy basically on that is we don't want you going to the site under the influence. When you're at home after your shift, it's fine, but you must have a card, a medical card. It's not just for recreational use. It has to be for medical use. If you do not have those credentials, we will give you a short period of time to get those credentials in order. If by then, the allotted amount of time that we give you, you have not completed the steps that we need you to take, you will be taken off the site. Is everybody clear on that?
Yes. We're not going to allow them to be on the site until they complete their paperwork.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, can I just say, and when I was saying go over program, you know, we can't force you to go to no program, nothing like that. But we don't see no paperwork in that you're not trying to do nothing. Nothing. Only thing you can do is just keep coming to these meetings until you decide that you want to train, because that's part of our training. Changing our lives. Changing our lives. That means in all areas. So if you out there using, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about crack cocaine, heroin, the ecstasy pills, and all this and that, you're not trying to change your life. And that's what we're looking for right now. To make us better, you become a liability to the organization. A great liability, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. And in order for this to keep on, we can't keep taking them heavy hits like that. Because it'd be nothing.
Practitioner Livingston, can you talk about disrespectful and admin site, please?
At no time should you be disrespectful at the administration site. Number one reason is what they're doing at that site is take care of business for each person in here. Making sure that we have sites to go to, making sure that those sites are covered, making sure that the stipends are done, and a million other things that they have to do to keep this company running. And for someone to come in there and be disrespectful, that's like saying, for instance, you go to your mama's house and you want a fork. And she tell you, what's going on? You gonna yell at your mama? You have to have that type of thought when you go up in there. There's no disrespect of any sort. It will not be tolerated. These women and the men that do train down there from time to time work hard to make sure you guys' stuff is in order. And for you to go down there and disrespect them is out of order and unacceptable.
Excuse me.
There's a policy that we have put in place. If you go to the administration office and you say you talk with deputy chief and it goes off to the left, no, you don't even have to question. We're not going to even question you. We don't even want to hear it. You will be pulled for 90 days. I don't even want to hear it. Did you yell? That's all I need to know. There's absolutely no disrespect. There's absolutely no disrespect in the admin's office. This is a professional persona that we're trying to project, and that's very unprofessional for you to get at your supervisor in a disrespectful manner.
Thank you. The second, the next one, do not follow client instruction when asked.
You know, you see this right here? This comes right into play. These are the type of reports we get from people. We don't have to stand there and watch what you do. Okay? I'm gonna omit the name. Blank was repeatedly asked practitioner to assist with putting floor signs out when there was a spill. He was asked again to remove trays that was outside when they was busy in the back. He was not paying attention to the floor. He had 9 customers in the store, multiple visitors. He was not keeping control of the restroom, asked repeatedly to help out, sitting in corner, eating sunflower seeds, getting sunflower seeds all over the floor, not doing what management asked him to do. Now, when somebody tells me something like that, what do you think I want to do? First thing I want to do? Remove him from that sentence. Y'all don't know? These are the type of reports we get from time to time. It's bad because I'll be up in there and they'll be like, oh, listen, this guy's doing good, this guy's doing good. And I'll tell them, I'm like, look, you're on the top of the food chain right now. But tomorrow, you can slide to the bottom in a heartbeat. Then they get a report like this. This is one of the ones they were saying was one of our best practitioners up there. Now he got a report like this. Something that I wanted to say. I haven't ran this across Chief and Deputy Chief. Me and Jones have been talking about it, but I want y'all to just hear it. We want to make a second list. When we make the schedule out, we want to make a second schedule. And say I give you Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll give you Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on call. You don't come on Wednesday, you got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's what we was talking about.
Okay, are we talking also about if a practitioner is late and we have to call someone else in?
All protocol. All protocol. 1049, confirmation. If you do not follow every one of the protocols, that's the way for you to be pulled off the list, ladies and gentlemen. Pulled off the list. And you'll have to sit on that on-call list until somebody else messes up. Either the person that's directly in front of you, whoever days you got behind, if they mess up, you'll get those days when he comes to the meeting.
I just want to say something real quick. Practice Practitioner Jones. First thing, sir, put your shirt in your pants. Okay, thank you. There's a bathroom right there. Okay. We get these reports. So when we get the report, it don't be from, say, another practitioner or something like this. These reports come strictly from management. You guys got to quit being disrespectful to them, because if they ask you to do something, even if you think it's wrong or something like that, do it and then write it down, and this is where you bring it to. Don't question them. The only thing you have to question if they tell you go jump off the roof or something like that. You know you ain't gonna do that. But if they tell you to please, right now we're busy, could you please put a stick down there or something like that? Yes, okay.
You put that sign up there, because see, basically you gotta understand, you know, in security, our job is to secure in safety. You know what I'm saying? Public safety. That's a slip hazard. That's a safety issue. You know what I'm saying? So that falls under our realm. You know, don't think you can do the bare minimum and get a maximum return. It's not gonna happen. If you do the bare minimum, they're gonna treat you like a bare minimum employee.
Licensed practitioner vendor. I heard you say something about trays on there. You asked to put your trays up.
Mm-hmm.
Trays are a safety hazard. You know,
they're weapons.
You don't want, if you're in a place like that, you don't want those trays out. You know, because those trays can be turned into a weapon. So, me myself personally, I would put the trays up for my own safety.
That's one of the main reasons that we take our time to go grab those trays and put them in one local area. So if something happens, I ain't got to look around. Who got a weapon? You know what I'm saying? I know the trays is over here. If somebody go over there, I'm assume they have a weapon. It's easier to take control of the situation if you know that there's not just weapons laying anywhere. They can't just pick something up and hit you upside the head with. And for a person to tell the manager, that ain't my job. Wait a minute. I thought I was paying the company that paid you for you to be here. So what I asked you to do is your job. Don't ever tell management what your job is not. Call him, call me, and tell us what your job
Can I
is.
tell you
We'll
something?
tell them. And they'll
One of the things that I want to just share with you guys, this is training, it's not a job. On a job, it might be a few other things, but the discipline comes in when you can follow instructions, okay? And if you say this is not my job, well, you're actually right, because we don't have any jobs. Everything we do here is training and development. And also, I can remember from the military days, there might be something on the floor, and we might have to pick it up without, in a lot of different ways. Just think of yourself in a training atmosphere. Every time you go anywhere, it's a training atmosphere. You don't know what's gonna happen. When Deputy Chief and I went through the Oakland Civilian Police Academy, the lieutenant told us that each day you wake up, that you were going on stage. The way you look and the way you carry yourself will be the person that you will be portraying as you're on the stage. So if you look professional and you carry yourself in a professional way, you will be a professional. If you look at a sloppy, carry yourself in a disorderly way, that's the part that you're playing on that stage. So you want to keep maintaining yourself in a professional manner. The way we get extra tours of duty is that you'll never know who is watching you when you're on any side, especially those that have a high volume of people coming through. So you never know who's looking for security personnel, janitor personnel, or anything else. And if they see you in a negative way, and they repeat coming back and they constantly see you in that way, then you know we don't have an opportunity to get any training from them, because they already see the things that you don't think anyone else sees. I think Practitioner Bender has something to say.
Yes, licensed practitioner, Ben. I just wanted to piggyback on what the chief was saying. That's actually how I got to work for other security companies, from being on site here. You know, they seen the way I was, my uniform was where I was wearing my uniform and the way I was training. Another thing I wanted to say, Chief, is, you know, what I've learned is since working for another security company, and I have gotten relaxed. I've gotten sloppy, to me. You know, it used to be I wasn't comfortable sitting down. You know, when I was training in SPOA, I was conditioned to be on point all the time. Now that I got a job, I've kind of went, you know, it's like, you know, and that's why I need this again, you know, because you know what, somebody's seeing just what they've seen, but the opposite then. Somebody's always watching you, whether you think so, I don't care where you're at. Somebody is always watching you. When the guy came and gave me this for this other company, you know, gave me an opportunity to work for them, I never knew he was watching me, you know, but I was consistent in what I was doing, you know, so somebody's always watching you. That's what I did.
Can I just add something, man, before you move on? I just want to add on to this thing too about the DAR thing right quick. Last time I checked, I think most of our sites starts at on the hour and then on the hour.
Oh, yeah.
And unless somebody didn't show up or something like that, and that should go to the next hour if they're 15 minutes, am I correct? If 30 minutes, 20 minutes, they go to the next hour.
That's if you're late, not just leaving early because you want to.
Yes, leave early. I see a lot of DARs and Lotus actually, why this person, the lady who is doing the DARs asking me, did such and such work such and such hours? And as far as I'm concerned, I have to say no, because I don't know. Because if the shift starts at 12 o'clock, it ends at 7 o'clock. right?
8.
So, 8, well, okay, 12 to 8, right? So you should, it shouldn't be that I signed in, okay, I told him he can go home at such and such an hour like that. You gave that to him. If you told him he could go home at 11:30, because you was there at 11:30, you still clock in at 12 o'clock. You understand what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be no, when you pop up and then when you decide to leave at, okay, I'm gonna leave at quarter to 12. I mean, at quarter to 8. You shouldn't be leaving at no quarter to 8. Because that means you and then signing out at a different time. It shouldn't be done like that. We got a lot of that. We have a lot of that because it should 0.2, 0.3, stuff like that, from the hour to the hour.
Okay. Right. Yeah, we're just about ready to close
Yes.
out, and I want Deputy Chief to kind of close us out and give a thank you for all the people who watched this particular segment of our training session.
We would like to, at this time, to close the session because it is 6:30, and we would like to thank everybody who is watching. And please either text us or call us and give us input on what you think and what you would like to do, or come to our next meeting.
Also, for those of us that have Facebook, we will be videotaping a little bit more of this session and sending it out on our Facebook pages.
Yes.
So you can check that out as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Majid.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.